All right, what is up, BachPod squad? Been a little bit of a break, but we are back. The Ryan and Jacob show returns for the Bachelorette podcast, Big Katie season, and we are not brought to you by the wine of the week, Cask and Barrel, Cab Sack. Screw the Pure Leaf stuff. We're going on to the wine of the week now. All right, so let's get into it. Bachelorette, episode 1, meeting the guys. Big Katie, what'd you think?
Well, before we get into that, I think our fans need to know, did you actually do a submission tape?
I did not.
No.
I know we talked about it all last season, that if Katie was going to be the Bachelorette, I was going to sign up. But, it seemed like it all came so fast. They announced her as the Bachelorette, and then, 3 days later, they had all the guys. I felt like I didn't even have time.
Didn't have time. Well, maybe next time. Maybe you can do it. Who's the next Bachelorette after Katie? Michelle.
It's Michelle's the next one. Well, maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, they did both of them, Katie and Michelle, because Michelle couldn't do it because of the school year, so she's doing it during the summer or something like that. But anyway, for Katie's season, I think it was a good episode. Good episode 1. I like the replacement of Chris Harrison with Taisha and what's her name? Caitlin. They seem more involved. They were watching out a window, eating popcorn after every guy, and every guy. Katie would, turn back and, thumbs up or dry hump somebody.
One guy.
That was Courtney, that Courtney guy, which has a weird spelling and a weird name. But I guess he's a good looking guy. But yeah, it was a fun episode. No drama. I think there was one blurb of drama against Aaron and I forgot that guy's name, but Cody. Yeah, he was like, I don't like you. And the guy, out of nowhere, he was like, I just don't like you. And the Cody's
that was honestly so incredible because there was zero context. It just, everything was fine and dandy. All these dudes are just chilling. And all of a sudden, we cut to this scene, and this Aaron guy is just like, hey, man, I just wanted to pull you aside and basically tell you that I just really don't like you. What?
Yeah, I had to rewind it because I thought I missed something. I was like, I had to have missed something, but I rewinded it and it was just this cut scene. I was like, that was so weird. But that was the only drama. I guess they had to throw something in there to kind of mask some drama, but I guess that's the route they took.
Dude, that I honestly that was so incredible. This is why I love the Bachelorette seasons, is because you get a bunch of just testosterone fueled guys in a room, especially 30 of them in one room. Yeah. You're bound to have some situations like this, but I don't think anyone saw this one coming, because like I said, there's no context, and just all of a sudden he's just like, hey, you think I could talk to you outside, man? It's listen, dude, I just wanted to let you know I just don't like you. So
what do you do in that situation?
I would have been laughing my ass off if I was the other guy, just listening to that. I would have laughed. Yeah. I would have been crying tears, so great. And I think that's a great segue into getting to this season's early douche for views, the old D.F.V. I think we got to give it to Aaron, right?
Yeah, that's an easy call. Nobody else really did anything crazy that made me not like them in a douchey way. So yeah, Aaron took the cake for me. That was an easy call.
Yeah. So anyone that's not familiar, every Bachelorette or even Bachelor season's got
the second time.
Yeah, I've got to have that person that they got to keep on for views. We had Victoria last season, bitch for views, the BFV. She was incredible, okay? So now this season, we get into this. We got Aaron, who's a front leader for the DFV, the douche for views this year. I'm super excited to see where he goes after this one, because if that was his first episode, who knows what's going to happen next?
Yeah, and another guy, that motivational speaker, what was that guy's name?
That's Big Carl.
Yeah, Carl. He doesn't seem like a douche, but I feel like he's going to be in the middle of every drama-filled episode or scene, just because he's very outspoken and kind of a loud guy. Because I mean, if you're a motivational speaker, you got a lot to say. Yeah. So I think he's going to have a lot to say on a lot of things that are none of his business. And that's a guy to just keep an eye on and see what happens. I think he's going to be in the middle of a lot of controversy.
All right. Well, we'll be sure not to. We won't stamp the douche for views just yet off of our first episode. But Aaron's definitely a front runner, and we'll put Carl there as a possible person to take the cake on that. And speaking of things that we don't want to stamp just yet, but we definitely got to say it, our way too early favorites. Let's hear yours.
Well, if everyone knows, my way too early favorite went, I think she got 4th last year.
And I don't know about that.
What about yours? I think yours came in last. I think yours.
Definitely don't think she came in last, but she didn't do super well.
So I'm 1-0 against Ryan on the way too earlys, but we're gonna do a couple in this episode and kind of guide it, kind of go episode by episode. But I picked 3 for the first.
Give me 2. You want 3?
I got 3.
You want 3? All right. Give me 3. So, but next episode, we're stamping. We're stamping after next step. Okay. Give me your first 3 way too earlys.
And this is in order, like my first, second, third, what I said in episode 1. So the first one, I think, who's going to win is Andrew S. I think he has a perfect personality for Katie. He's very he's just very funny. He's very outgoing. He's very talkative. He's a good-looking guy. He came up with a British accent meeting her, and I think she fell for it, but I don't really think so. But I thought that was funny, good icebreaker. I think he's going to be a good one. The second one is Michael, the one with the son that opened up to her. I think just being that vulnerable first episode, I think Katie really appreciated that. I think he got like the second or third actual rose. So he's a cool guy. I like him. And the second one is Trey. He's the one who came in the truck with a ball pit to release their inner kid. I thought that was cool. I mean, because Katie is a very, I don't want to say she's kid oriented. She doesn't act like a kid, but she has a very kid personality, I guess. That's not a really good way to say it, but she likes that kind of stuff. She likes those kinds of things, and I think those 3 did a very good job on kind of going what Katie's personality is.
Yeah. All right. Well, I completely respect those 3 calls. I got to say that the Michael guy is definitely in my top 3 as well. I'll just put him as my third right now. My second is Cody. I think Cody came in. He made a solid first impression, and she definitely was thinking that he was a good-looking dude. He is a good-looking dude. And then I'm going to put my number 1 for right now is going to be Connor B, the guy that came in with the cat costume. At first, I mean, that's almost too easy of a call, but honestly, at first when he came in with that cat thing, I was like, oh my God, I mean, this guy just ruined his whole thing. And then Katie loved it because she's cat girl. So, I mean, he came in with the cat suit, couple good little sense of humor jokes. That had their little one-on-one with the piano thing, and then he got a nice little smooch. So
big smooch.
Big smooch. We had some cat makeup on Katie's face after that. Is
Connor the Canadian hockey player?
No. That's Brendan.
Who's Connor then? Who's the one? Who's your second pick?
My second pick was Cody.
Cody, who is that?
He I didn't write down what he does. But he's man, I don't even know how to describe him. I have to show you a picture. We'll throw a pic up on when the pod comes out. There'll be a pic to show that. But
according to you, he's a good-looking guy.
He's a good-looking dude. All right. Well, so that segues into our next segment here. All right. Let's talk about who you think best-looking dude this season is. Let's hear yours. If you want to give 2, that's okay.
No, I mean, I only got 1. I even said this to Cassie, because Cassie watches it with me, and she actually said that there wasn't many, cute guys this year as other years. And
tens.
Yeah, I mean, That's what she said. So I said, I mean, the best looking guy I think is box guy James, the guy who was in a box for about 3 hours.
Box guy. Yeah.
And then came out. I thought, he had that New York accent. I think he's probably from Brooklyn. I don't know if he's from Brooklyn or not, but I would guess he's from Brooklyn. He just had that, smooth look to him, like a typical New Yorker. I think he was the best looking guy. I don't know.
All right. Well, I think my best looking dude was probably Thomas. I think that dude came in looking good. I will say though, when he was in his one-on-one, the guy was sweating a lot. He was sweating a lot. Like, if you sweat that much, you might have to start thinking about bringing a towel with you places. But nonetheless, sweat or not, good looking dude. All right.
Is this the guy you were saying, Cody?
Yeah. That's Cody.
That's the guy who Aaron said that he didn't like.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. You could have just said that. I would have known.
Oh, yeah. My bad. I definitely knew that's who it was.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Cody.
Sorry, so that was bothering me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, that guy is in my top 3 for way early faves. But Thomas I think is probably taking my cake for best looking dude.
Yeah. He was a good looking guy, but like you said, the sweating was, dude, that's the first thing I noticed in that one-on-one. I don't know, because they were in New Mexico this year. I don't know where they were for Matt's season. I think they were LA or down in California somewhere. But this year they're in New Mexico, so I'm sure it was hot as balls down there.
Yeah, you could tell because about 80% of the guys that were in their one-on-one were like really perspiring.
But you think the AC would be blasting in the house. I don't know why they. I don't know.
I imagine they were probably pretty nervous.
I'd be nervous. Yeah,
I can imagine. But yeah, dudes were sweating. All right, and that's kind of along the lines of all these good-looking dudes. I do want to point out. I said last season, and I would stand by it for any season of The Bachelorette, really. But had I actually gotten on this season by sheer chance, I would have easily been the ugliest dude in this house. Like, no shot.
Okay, I don't think so because
you want to pull up your ugliest dude? Because I didn't write one down, but I would definitely be open to hearing yours.
Yeah, there's a guy that looked like Dave Navarro, Brendan Torres. Like the shaggy hair. That was probably the worst looking guy, in my opinion. I think
that's probably who I would have said too, honestly. And he got sent home immediately, which
he
is unfortunate. But I still stand by the fact I would definitely be the first average looking guy on The Bachelor. I still think so. And I still have a shot at it because there ain't any average looking dudes here. Shit. All right. So let's move on from that to let me hear who you thought best first impression was. We had a lot of different as always, we had a lot of different intros here of these guys introducing themselves, trying to make a standout impression. Who do you think did it the best?
I think there's only one guy for this one. That's Connor, the catsuit guy. He could just kind of, just by his one-on-one, like she was digging. Like I think she's a furry. Like she is digging that catsuit on that guy. Like she would have gone to Pound Town with that guy, I think, if there wasn't cameras, because she was into it. And you can't beat that. That was definitely the best first impression I think I've ever. Like, I've only been watching Bachelor, Bachelorette maybe for 6 seasons. I think Hannah was my first real watching it. I've watched a couple episodes, here and there with other seasons, but that might have been the best first impression. And he didn't even get the first impression rose, which I thought was just crazy because I don't know, it's she was digging it, and a lot of people wouldn't dig that. He took a chance and he struck gold.
Wow. Yeah, no, and I do agree with that. He made a killer impression. Like I said earlier, when he first showed up in that cat suit, I was like, well, this guy just threw his whole thing out the window. Like, what are you doing? But then, like you said, she was eating it up, lapping it up like some milk. I mean, she was really digging it.
Yeah.
So I respect the call. So I had two guys that I thought did this. I think the first my one I think that was the best was the box guy. And I only say that because, man, this dude had some real confidence to stay in that box. He was in that box. It had to be at least 2 hours. Okay.
Oh, yeah, at least yep.
They wheeled that box out at the beginning, and he was like, "Hey, I'm here just so you know, but I'll see you inside. I'm not coming out the box until I see you inside." Right. Like that right there, you got some real conviction that you're a great guy. And if you're not a 10, you're not doing that. I'm saying that right now. If you're not if you're not a 10 out of 10, you're not hanging in the pocket in that box. But the second guy that I thought made a really good first impression was the guy with the blow up doll. I thought he just made a great lead up to that, and then it was just a good joke, honestly, overall, which I really appreciate. So I thought those two were kind of neck and neck on the first impressions. So let's hear about your worst impression, and I have a feeling that we probably have the same guy on this one.
Yeah, I mean, like if we go into like worst impression, like leading like the first time they met, the RV guy was the worst guy. Like, right. I don't think he had like a really bad like first impression per se, but the first night, I mean, he actually lives in that RV, and like there was like clothes all over the place. There was a cheap ass vegetable tray that you can get at Walmart for $6. This dude chomping on celery.
Think about the loudest vegetable that you can possibly eat while being on a first date.
Yeah.
Celery.
Yeah.
Skip my pen.
I mean,
that's how, like, unbelievable. Like,
any vegetable. Like, if I were to do that, I don't think I'd go vegetable tray. Maybe a fruit tray.
Fruit's a little softer, right?
It's softer, and like, women tend to like fruit. Like vegetables, like a lot of people don't like vegetables at all. So like,
if you're gonna have the vegetable tray, like maybe don't eat it while you're with her. Like, how does that thought never cross his mind?
It was very odd. That guy got sent packing, as you probably expected. But I actually thought he would have got like one of the last rows, because usually those really weird people tend to stay a couple episodes just, for views and stuff like that. And I thought that maybe they would do it with that guy, but yeah, he was out. He was out.
Katie had like her little sidebar interview after that, and she just straight up said, wasn't really feeling the vibe here. And I can't blame her. And thank goodness she didn't keep him around for nothing, because that was so weird.
Yeah, it was definitely the most awkward person. I don't think like anybody else, like a lot of people just like that went home, didn't get screen time. We don't really know if they were just like awkward or something like that, but there's nobody else that really was. I don't know, like last with Matt's season, like you had Victoria just like freaking go off, and just you knew she was going to be the villain and she was going to bring a lot of views. Like this one, like you don't like all these guys kind of seem normal, which I guess is refreshing, but like isn't going to be good for like the drama. But I mean, there's going to be drama, so
here's what I think. I think, and maybe this is probably bad to say, but I think guys have more of a knack to keep that drama shit under wraps at first than girls. Like I feel like the girls, when they get in there, they're like ready to go, and they're gonna just be themselves, like just do what they do right off the bat. I feel like guys are gonna come in there and kind of feel out the situation first, And then like as things go on, that's when you're gonna start to see the real dudes. Like these guys were trying to make a great first impression. They're trying to be like chill, like give off that super chill impression. Like I feel like that's something that guys do. But I think the drama is, I think the Bachelorette season drama is so much better than when you get the girls. Because, like, the girl stuff is all, like, predictable drama. But, like, even just this first night when this Aaron guy pulls Cody aside just to be like, hey, man, I don't like you. That is amazing. Like, that just doesn't happen on night one.
Yeah. It was great. Yeah, I think we just have to stay patient because I think there's going to be a lot more like scenes like that just like come out of nowhere. And then, I'm sure we're going to see a couple fights or like almost fights.
Yeah.
There's guys, but I think the last thing I want to ask you before we go is, what do you think about the guy who got the first impression rose? I think Greg was his name, right?
Greg, the family man.
Yeah, like, I didn't I'll let you answer, but I didn't think he made that great of impression. I don't think he deserved it.
He showed up kind of shy, right? His first like out of the limo impression was like it was nothing to write home about for sure. And then he goes into his one-on-one, and that's kind of where he starts to spill the beans. But he gave her that necklace. The necklace that his niece made with the macaronis.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. He gave her a gift night one from his niece, so she already knows like that he's kid oriented, I guess, which is probably an attractive trait. But actually, along those lines, though, she did say that she was open to not having kids. So.
Yeah, she's open for everything, she said, because that's what Mike was asking her.
But I think that kid type of thing is probably always attractive to girls, like just from a human instinct perspective. So I think that probably gave him a pretty good deal of points right there when he gave her that necklace. But I agree. I don't think that he necessarily made the best like first night impression. So I was surprised to see him get that first impression rose. I definitely thought I was going to go to the catsuit guy. But I don't know. So what do you think about Greg?
He has a big family. I think he said he has 8 nieces and nephews, or the 8th's on the way, I think he said. It'll be interesting to see him if he comes out of his box. I think that's what Katie was trying to do is, hey, I know you're shy. But everybody was like nervous and shy, but I guess he showed it the most. And I think she wants him to break out of that box, which I guess give him confidence, which if I got the first impression rose, I have confidence too. But I want to mention one thing. We were talking about necklaces, and I don't know who did this for their first impression out of the car. I think it was Carl, the motivative speaker. I don't know if it was him or not, but he joked about this is my grandma's necklace. It's been in the family for 200 years, and he did that kind of joke. And then at the end, no, I just bought this at the airport. Don't worry about it. That was so funny.
I think that was Michael, the guy with the kid.
Oh, it was. Yes. Oh, that's why I love that guy. That was so funny. That was Michael. Yeah. That was pretty smooth. I like that one. That was
awesome. Yeah,
I honestly thought that was like his grandma's, and then he was like, just kidding. Because I think Katie did too. Like she was like, oh my God, you're giving me this like big of a thing, and you've only met me for a minute. That was funny. I thought that was a good one.
Yes, and that was one of those jokes that I was like, you know what? That one was good. Because like I said, like I was fully expecting like all these dudes are going to come in here trying to lay down some bad jokes, right? I would have done the same thing because they know what Katie's personality is. But that one was good. I laughed pretty hard there.
That one would have been good for like anybody. I think that would have been like a universal if it was any like Bachelorette. I think that would have hit on any level because that was just so universal. That was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we both agree. We both got that Michael guy in our top 3. as a way too early fave. I think he's a solid candidate. So it'll be interesting to see how things go. But I do got to say that next episode we're stamping one guy each, and it's got to be different. We're both gonna stamp a guy for a way too early fave, and that's that.
All right, deal.
All right. Well, I think that kind of just wraps up episode 1. We got to meet the guys. We've kind of met everybody now. We don't really know a whole lot about everybody, so we don't have a lot to say about too much. But I think a solid first episode. Great intros, and I'm definitely excited to see where the season goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good season. It's gonna be a really good season. I can't wait.
Yeah, like I said, dude, the guys always provide some great drama. Oh, and we didn't even mention, dude, we got another virgin on the show. We got
what's his name?
This Mike guy. Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna provide a little bit of drama. I mean, the dude.
He used to play minor league baseball for the A's too. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
he's like 31 too.
Yeah, he's like 31 years old. 31-year-old virgin. That is definitely uncommon, and I think, as we've seen in the past, these sex things definitely prove to have some drama behind them. So definitely excited to see where that's gonna go.
Yeah, that'll be a fun storyline because it's gonna come up, you know that.
Well, yeah, especially because Katie's like super like
sex
she
positive.
keeps saying sex positive. Yeah, like, well, I don't know what that means, but I think that means like we're just super down to talk about it. Like that's cool. But
yeah,
maybe
Cassidy
not for Mike.
said that. Yeah, Cassidy said that it seems like she was like tested positive for something every time she said sex positive. And it kind of does like kind of feel like that when she says that, like test positive for AIDS. Like, oh, but
well, let's certainly throw a twist on the show.
Like. Right, that's just what it sounds like. Oh, you're testing positive for something, which I guess could be a good thing if you test positive for being cool or something. I don't know.
I don't think they have a test for that. But with that, we will wrap up episode 1. Like I said, we're excited to see where this season's going to go. I think it's going to be super exciting, and I am so ready for this drama.
Peace.
And Jacob is too. All right, we will catch you guys next week for episode 2, where we'll stamp our early favorites and a little bit more. Catch you later.
Peace.